It's all about experiences. Rooms, exteriors should have some sort of experiences within themselves. I think there's something about imperfections. I don't like everything to be perfect. People are allowed to have red wine on the sofa. This is a room that most people are surprised by. I'm Peter Mikic, and this is how we live with style. So here we are in deepest countryside Oxfordshire, and I live here with my husband Sebastian Scott and our two dogs, Henry and Trigger. And we've been here for about 4 years now, and we built this house from scratch. As you walk through the house, it opens up and various rooms present themselves with different ceiling heights and different volumes. Here we are in the kitchen. It's the central hub of the house, and it's where we do all of our cooking and entertaining. And one of the great features of this room are the windows. These windows here open up completely, and it's one of the greatest features of this house, really. So I love this area here because I like the fact that it's all open up. You have just sort of indoor-outdoor living, and it's a great place to host lunches and dinners, barbecues, cocktails, etc. The table actually is a single piece of London plane, and it just adds that texture, it adds the warmth, it adds the earthiness that I looked for in this house. The garden itself is designed by a wonderful designer called Tom Stuart Smith, who came up with this idea of this hacienda-style central courtyard where you have the pool, you have entertaining areas all internally, and various flowers throughout the season, various different colours, various different heights. One of the things I really love doing is working with local artisans or artisans in the UK. And there's an amazing company in South London called Blenheim Forge. And this is a knife set that they do, and it's very beautiful with the walnut handle, the brass trim, and the black and steel blades. I love cooking because we have a vegetable garden, we grow our own veggies. So we have this range, which is by La Conche, and it's kind of fabulous because A, it's yellow, and B, it has 4 ovens and a huge amount of worktop space. I just always find that yellow in the morning brings in joy, brings in love, brings in happiness. There's something addictive about it. It's very uplifting. This is the best thing ever. It's the pot filler. It extends all the way out, so you can fill in any sort of pots that you need for pasta, etc. We don't really have sort of precious stones in Australia, but we do have our own version of malachites. They're sort of volcanic pieces, and they're rather beautiful. I don't know why, but this is really the only bit of Australiana that I have in the house. Oh, apart from my Tim Tam collection. I moved here, I think it was 1995. I finished design in Australia, and I moved to London with a friend of mine called Theo. We really weren't quite sure what we were doing, but all we knew is that we wanted to live in London. So we both bought a one-way ticket and absolutely loved being here. When I moved here, I met a wonderful girl called Rita Koenig, and she is a brilliant interior designer. And she introduced me to a wonderful woman called Jo Davda. And Jo makes the most amazing handmade plates, which I've got here. And one of the beautiful things about the plates is that it comes in a variety of colors. So you can see here the mauves, the yellows, the teals. So here we are, we're in the living room. And one of the nice things about this house is obviously being able to entertain. It's really anchored by these 2 sofas, and I call them the marshmallow sofa because they're soft from all sides. So if someone is particularly tipsy and you fall over the sofa, you're pretty much cushioned from all angles. I like being able to touch things, and I like that there's a large amount of texture in this room. And again, there's sort of irregularities of things like various stones and little bronze sculptures and jelly beans to eat. I kind of like having sort of snacks on the go. Whoever's going to be in here, you want them to be very relaxed. People are allowed to have red wine on the sofa. For me, colour is really important because it can cause, certain emotions. And in here, because it's an entertaining space, I sort of went for primary colours, so hence the blue carpet and the red fireguard. So it's just a little bit more evoking and a little bit livelier than, say, the calming bedroom. For me, this is the most playful room because it's an evening room. You could sort of go to town. We didn't really need to reflect what's happening outside. And it's all about fun. The dark wood with the light wood, the very comfy chairs, and the whole point is really to have either very long lunches or very, very long dinners. I like the practicality of things. So for example, I kind of like tables which are narrow. People can talk opposite, and it really sort of invites conversation. One of the things that really inspired me when I was doing this house is an Italian architect called Carlo Scarpa, who was very famous for his modern take on architecture. One of the things that Carlo Scarpa did do is in the Olivetti showroom in Venice, and that is the two different wall textures. One where you got the polished plaster on this wall and one with a rough plaster. Let's go down to the bedroom. This is Trigger, and this is lovely Henry, and they're both very sweet, and they both sleep on the bed, as you can tell. There's something kind of magical about green. Green obviously represents nature, the outdoors, and we worked with a wonderful artisan who created these two bedside tables and also made the headboard out of the oak. We used quite a lot of artisans and craftspeople, and we find them through either Instagram or word of mouth. But another great way is honestly going onto the internet and just typing in exactly what I want. Padded walls are interesting because these ones in particular are done by a company in London called Fabric Track. And basically they install these track systems here, and if at any point any of the panels got damaged, you can remove and replace the panels of fabric. There is something kind of magical, especially in the summer months when this is all open, you have a bath, and it just feels like my own little mini spa. The bath itself comes from a company called William Garvey, and they are in Cornwall, and they make these really beautiful teak baths. And it's a Japanese style bath, and the whole point of these Japanese baths is that you sort of feel like you're floating, as opposed to sitting in a bath in a traditional manner. I love having baths with oils. I think there's just something very kind of luxurious about scented oils, so they're rather beautiful. And the other thing I really love is, as you've probably noticed throughout the house, are these amazing rock crystals everywhere, ranging from ashtrays to plates to various things. But I like the energy from various kind of stones. So this is something that brings, for me, a bit of healing power. The ritual Friday night fire. I love having a fire. There's a coziness to it, really. And we often sit here and have Friday night spaghetti in front of the fire with the dogs on the sofa watching our favourite movie. The most important part about this house is the landscape, the trees, the animals, the wildlife that are here. And we often see deer, we have hares, rabbits, and we have very beautiful red kites nesting in the trees. When we do have guests, we like to have like a bunch of people staying every few months. But generally, it is just the four of us. The house itself can either be like a 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom house, or it can be multiple bedroom house because some of the bedrooms are outside. It's so practical having the guest rooms separate to the main house because you don't have to heat them, you don't have to turn on the boiling water for them. So it's a very easy house to run. Often I have my godchildren here or friends with children, and they love being downstairs in the double bunk bed. I thought what would be the best way to have a very versatile room, and one way was to have a double bed on the ground and then the 2 single beds above. So if you did have parents staying with children, you could easily have that configuration, or you could have a room with 4 kids, or you could, be 2 children and a nanny. So sort of like a grown-up section and a kids section. I really love banana trees. I don't know why, but I've always loved banana trees, and I love sketching banana leaves. And so one area I did want to have was banana trees around the hot tub. And it's worked out really well because it's slightly overgrown. It does feel a little bit like you're being in a jungle. I like that this house has different experiences. So, you know, there's an area where you can walk to the sauna or the cold plunge pool, or you could do the hot tub. But like rooms, I think exteriors should also have some sort of experiences within themselves. I've got one more surprise left for you, and it's a really beautiful room, and I'm about to show it to you. Welcome to the cinema. So we use this room quite often, mostly for our movie nights, but also for Eurovision, which we love hosting. And here comes little Henry, who also loves a sheepskin chair. So for Eurovision, we often have a house full of people, and this will be completely full, and we often start dancing in front of the screen as well. These wall lights are really beautiful. The 1950s ceramic wall lights, they were made in Italy, and I found these in a cardboard box at Kempton Park Markets. But they were literally underneath newspapers, etc. And I was rummaging through all these things, but they're rather beautiful, and they're all individual. Slightly freaky, but you know, hey, it's a cinema. So you can see there's a sweet shelf behind me. And I think often when parents put their children to bed, they will find sweet wrappers underneath the pillows, or snakes, which have sort of been half chewed behind, you know, duvets or headboards or things like that. So I think it's very popular with the children. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the tour. And don't forget to subscribe to the Times Life and Style YouTube channel.